What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Just Saying podcast with Natasha and also Yusuf. And today we've got Dr. Aila with us.
Yes! Oh my goodness, this is the longest break we've ever had.
Everyone was so busy. Semua aku
I
bergawai.
think this is 2 months of break. Oh.
Belum start podcast dah belum. How was your gawai, doctor?
Alhamdulillah.
Gawai, we've passed Gawai, we've passed Raya Haji also already. So
Yep.
2 things already and yet
I still gawai je.
Oh yalah.
Sebulan je.
Wow. I only thought Hari Raya Aidilfitri is sebulan.
No.
Since when ah?
Ay,
Gawai
harvest
sebulan.
month.
Oh, true also.
Okay, now let's stop about us.
Okay.
More to Dr. Aila.
Yes. Doctor, would you... Okay. Off camera, Dr. Aila don't want us to call her doctor.
So we call her Dr. G.
Since we call everybody G on this
Podcast, yeah.
So I got new name too.
Yeah.
So today, Dr. Aila will be Dr. G.
Okay.
Okay, so what do you do, Dr. G?
Yes.
You mean during the gawai?
No. Professionally.
I think most of you know already. I'm actually by profession, I'm a lecturer. Since 2001. That's mean I've already been a lecturer about 23 years.
Wow.
Teaching.
Very noble job.
Alhamdulillah, insyaAllah.
Yeah.
I started as a tutor last time and then pursue my masters in management and then doing my PhD in management also. So after that, I think it looks like I've been working as a lecturer from 2001 until now. Tapi actually it's quite colourful the journey. I managed to do quite a lot of things at the same time. Jadi if you know, I have my own book.
Wow.
What?
My own book.
She has her own book.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow.
Adalah buku yang simple tapi
tebal.
no, it's like kind of sharing my experience as a fellow. There's another thing also yang industry fellow. You know, when you are starting as a fresh graduate dekat university and your life is like after I finished my SPM in 1997, and now you know lah, you can guess my age. I started entering the university in 1997. Actually, I never been out from the university, from the system until now. Because
Wow.
What?
you can see that. It's interesting.
UNIMAS?
Right? No, different universities.
Okay.
But it's the same
But it's
faculty.
University. University life. University life. That's
Meaning you've jumped from one university to the other and your name has not been out of the system since you started studying.
Yes.
Mana pergi university hopping.
and different roles as a student at first, lepas as a tutor, as a lecturer, junior lecturer, senior lecturer, and then associate professor. Yeah, colourful lah. As an academician.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm enjoying the life in the university.
You love it.
You love to be surrounded with students, kan?
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I mean, I don't come from a teaching perspective, but a lot of my family members, they are teachers.
Yeah.
I assume that the reason why they teach for such a long time is because they love nurturing, they love educating children. We'll get on that later. But right now, what are you? Senior lecturer?
It is a senior lecturer, but I don't know, the position is an associate professor.
And what is it? Or what's the topic of your
What do you specialize in?
management?
Yeah, managing organization. So we talk a lot about like looking from the organizational perspective. So it is kind of blend of organizational behavior, human resource management, operation management.
Wow,
so
that's
it's
a lot.
everything about management, corporate management. So we enjoy looking at the human side of people in evolution. As you know, when you started working as a young staff, baru masuk kerja,
Betul.
very naive. You know, it's all the evolution of ourselves. So it's quite interesting.
Oh, so you actually like guide them on how to manage.
And prepare these youngsters to be someone, you know, nobody teach us, nobody tell us, especially our parents, they always
Betul.
look at us as the children, but nobody, you know, prepare you to be
An adult.
An adult.
Betul.
and a worker. You know, an employee. So I think I would say that is part of your contribution indirectly to other individuals and human beings.
Fascinating, huh?
It's like teaching
think I
people
will
to be
try.
self-sufficient.
I think I want to talk about this more than the topic that I want to bring up today.
I know. It's fine. We can talk about everything.
Yes.
Because I mean, as a staff member of an organization, I've been working since I was in Form 3, looking for my own pocket money. So I've worked in a lot of companies, and I have experienced different behaviors
Of
from
course.
colleagues, friends who become
And
really good friends.
the whole culture of an office is so different, kan?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is the perfect opportunity.
You know, Yusuf, that means you're supposed to further study lah.
Betul. Sila balik belajar sekarang.
Wait, what do you mean? Well, I mean,
Yelah, if it is
Yeah.
interesting for you, that's that. Like,
oh, you
like
mean
the
I
right
should
time.
Yeah.
go in management, kah?
Yeah.
I don't think I like managing people.
No, at least you know it's not necessarily like me. I learn a lot about managing people, managing organization, but I'm not managing anyone. I mean, not so
okay.
much. It is like for your study. You can do anything that you like. Maybe write paper, become the resident columnist for media. There's a lot of things that you can, you know,
Branch
channel.
out to,
Yes, your understanding and knowledge.
So Dr. Aila is actually one of the more common guests that we have on TVS.
Okay.
Yeah, and when there's like serious topics to be discussed about, like
But not
she'll
today,
be
right?
there. She's like one of the key people that's always on the panel.
So today you guys get to see her santai with us.
Santai.
Okay.
Usually with blazer.
Yeah.
all that. Today
Today we're talking about the real Dr. Aila. So tell
Dr.
us,
G.
Dr. G. Sorry, Dr. G. What do you normally do on your free time? Macam, do you still do paper kah, or like you have other interests, suka nangga K-drama kah? Yeah, I'd like to know what a doctor like you actually do to just relax.
Let your head down lah. Like
Let your head down.
Tidur lah kot.
She's like one of all of us also.
Very honest answer.
Yes. Who does sleep is luxury, you know.
Yes, you know.
And I think K-drama or Netflix, all that, I quite left behind because of macam the zaman when I started. You know, I mentioned about 97 just now, right? During the time, email pun ada Hotmail aja. Okay.
Internet
I
again.
remember those times.
Right.
Hotmail. There's no Gmail.
No. And then,
Wait. Yahoo got.
Was that during the ASL please time, the MIRC?
Luckily, I see terjebak with all that. I was like very naive and very, I would say, obedient student.
Did you go?
Because I come from boarding school. Okay, boarding school, you know lah. Boarding school tu memang
Discipline.
very berdisiplin, and I didn't like intentionally do it, but my sejarah was like I never have. If I could remember, I never have any case discipline whatsoever.
Wow. Clean record. Clean record.
I never got a soleh.
Yeah, I'm so I pengawas.
I think I pengawas also. But I sleep in the class so
I
much.
pengawas in the all boys school St. Tom because I was Form 6, lower 6. Yeah, tiba-tiba kena lantik pengawas.
Kan?
Yeah.
So bila boarding school, you don't have so much exposure out there.
Yeah.
Panggung wayang pun I pernah pergi. Until I pergi.
your teenage years you don't watch.
Very good one. Pelajar contoh one.
Boleh jadi soldier ini.
And I survive. I mean, people feel like macam quite suffer kan when you suffering lah when you have to go through all that. I okay with that.
Yeah, because I don't think you were influenced by that,
Yes.
because you were around you were the same
semua okay.
similar-minded
Yes.
students kan?
Yes.
So what do you guys go for? Like what is exciting for you guys?
I don't know. That's why.
Are you asking in the context of last time when she was in boarding
Yeah,
school?
last time.
Okay.
That makes me become who I am today. Like I think for most of the people, for them boredom is kind of problem.
Betul.
Macam boring lah, masalah benar.
Mesti ada something
Right.
lah.
For me, boredom is okay. I'm okay with that. I said ada masalah.
Betul.
That's why kadang-kadang macam it give you kind of
Peace of mind, is it?
Yes.
I see.
Si bapa gilanya less demanding.
But do you think?
Okay je.
Yeah, but do you think that because now, like that was 1997, kan? But now in this modern day, where every single information that you want, be it entertainment, world news, gossips, all this is just all available in your smartphone. But unfortunately, because of that, also sometimes kita tu overstimulated because you doom scroll, non-stop content, like or maybe about. Unfortunately, there are a lot of not so good news also lah, you know. And all these things, I guess we're heading to psychology first, yeah? All these things, it will also, I think you do know more about psychology. It does kind of shape your mental state at the time, right?
Yes.
So as a, not psychologist, right?
No.
Like as someone who understands psychology as well, do you see any, what do you call it? Any stress regarding too much stimulation from overstimulated people, like especially now compared to back then?
I think yes, you can see from the scenario, from the surroundings nowadays. I feel pity to a lot of people, like especially the youngsters, because when technology is on hand. We have everything without any struggles to find it, you know. But if you are too excited with a lot of things, it's not good. Also, you are stressing to yourself. At the same time, you are actually torturing yourself with too much information,
consuming way too much.
Yes, too much information, too much efforts to understand, to digest, to do everything, to absorb. Which is we know as a human being. We
only have a certain fraction of brain too.
Yeah, so you have to, if you don't pity to yourself, your time, you have to your body, you pity to your brain. So that is the way. But I think because of the temptation is too high, then everybody like feel, forgot about that.
Yeah, but the excess is also so easy, kan?
Correct. So the excess is like overshadow over everything.
I do find most days, let's say if like I got a busy work schedule, most of the time I just need to just set my phone away and then just do nothing. Like literally just watch the birds, the lalat.
That one, when you are mature, you can so-called as a maturity.
When you speak in
Oh, saya mature je. Yang pada saya
dah. If you have that, okay. If you have that, that's mean you matured already. That is like
awareness
a sign of maturity, which is we can claim. Everyone can claim like you jangan main-main dengan I dah besar. I can say I can do anything. You don't have to say much to me. Blah, 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 right? No. But actually, we can claim that we already matured. Everyone can simply say that. But the maturity it comes with. With that from ourselves. Like just now, you know when it is enough. You know when it is supposed to be like, even though no one tells you, but you know.
Like your self-awareness is very important.
Say that to tell yourself that you're mature? Is there a... Will it
I think maturity is just more like a big definition, but there are a lot of things... Like I said just now, there's certain things that we are not aware, like when we were younger. Now I'm aware, like if I overshare or I overplay my phone and it's like, ooh, I'm getting overstimulated, then I will.
Correct.
Actually, right, when you brought that up, I think I have that problem.
What?
Because
which
I
one?
don't sleep peacefully. I know that. I sleep while I watch YouTube. While I play my mobile games.
You can sleep with noise?
Oh, I can sleep anywhere I want. But I think this overstimulation topic is very, very widely needed to be discussed.
I think it's crucial because of we're getting information from all like every single one is like trying to tell us there's news and there's also entertainment and there's also the big part of it, which is not so fun, opinions. You know, when you watch videos, most of the time for me, if I see, let's say a funny, like a comedian, right? I love reading the comments, you know? So some of it will be really, really brilliant. Okay, for comedians, fine. But there are certain things like different, when it comes to artists or what, like you'll see people like, tell her what to do, cannot wear this, cannot wear that, why the hair like this. And when you read so much, kadang-kadang kau baca apa macam, geram kan, like, why lah, yeah. Unnecessarily. And unfortunately, the internet these days, we're more going against like sensational things, you know? There's no balance whether like all good news only. And I feel like we need to spread more good news out there to uplift other people, not just remind
But good news don't get clicks, that's why. You know,
I watch them all the time.
Yeah, but
because you matured already. Leave the sign. With the sign.
But more to like, even adults, they click on things that are eye-catching, very
controversial,
very sensationalized.
Yeah.
I think it's the shock value that a lot of outlets, agencies, even media, we use all these shock values to.
But after some time, you might stop yourself with that.
I see.
You know, when it's nobody, even though it doesn't matter how interesting people make it as a content, because normally the nicest one with all the, you know, the fascinating one, it is not unplanned. It is planned and it is really, you know.
Oh, you know this.
After some time, you feel enough of it. That is like maturity.
Yeah.
Then people, as you said just now, adults yang tengok all that kan. That's mean in other things maybe they are matured, but in that sense maybe they are too new with all these technologies and they are not matured to handle.
Hence, that's why the question is, let's say for example, if our kids, they're kids and they don't have the same level of maturity that we have when we found technology and when we found social media kan. So when they are constantly fed with all these shocking, sensationalized, all these things lah, won't that stunt their growth?
Yeah, in a way, we look at this, you know, with anticipation. Maybe the other side of anticipation, you know, we have the worst case versus the best case scenario.
Yeah.
The best case scenario, maybe they feel like too enough of it. At the age of maybe they started early.
Yeah.
After some time, they feel like, I feel like vomited with all these kind of like unnatural
news, right?
So, but we have to wait. We couldn't say enough. You watch too much, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that because this one it's totally depends on the individual. So it's quite pitiful to young sampai to like 20 years
that's what I trying to say, you know. Like some people might not be able to wake up from it.
Like, because like for me, the thing that I really, really loathe, like especially on internet, is the one that instill fear, the everything. Because like all the things, especially macam news juga, and you know, they're saying a lot of things that will prevent you from actually knowing about the truth. Macam kalau you terlalu menakut-nakutkan orang sangat, people will not want to even know what it's about. So like for me, every time if I consume news, I will always search again, because in the end it's fake.
Correct.
You know? So whenever like for kids, I think only the parents lah should know better. Internet is not all bad, you know.
Yeah, of course.
It's either they're like two different kids. One can decide on doing something like nothing with their life, just entertainment, and the other one might want to learn how to play piano. The other one might learn how to, you know,
depends on how you make
up. Make out. Tiba-tiba. Jangan Dr. G tutup telinga.
But I think the internet itself kan. I'm trying to shape it or mold it into the topic of, or rather the scenario of when we were in radio kan. we get our stuff that we talk about on the internet.
Correct.
Definitely, kan. And I used to get my content from this particular website, which is called Oddity Central. But how true is it? I don't know lah. But the news there, I mean,
Clickbait.
I do not want to question the radio station itself, but because the radio station itself is a young radio station, so do we actually feed this kind of content, sensational content, all the way? And I think that's why at certain age, people stop listening to hits and move to other radio stations. I think that's what you're trying to say, right?
Yes. And you just grow out of it because you know better. You know better.
It is naturally happen. It is not something that you plan to like, I mesti dengar this one. It's not that. Even though sometimes you know the fact that this is good for you, this is not good for you. But if it is something that still attract you, you couldn't stop much before the time. So what is important now, I would say, looking at the availability of all this kind of information, entertainment, everything, it is so much about maturity. If you're not reaching that maturity level, if you don't know how to handle yourself, or you are too much in denial, let's say the maturity comes to you already, saying like,
things make sense.
Udah. But you lawan.
Masih.
I don't care. That one will be like susah lah. That means you deny because it's supposed to be whatever come naturally, you follow. I think that will help you to save your life lah.
I think I actually went through this kind of phase.
Which phase?
I lawan my.
You force yourself
because I feel like my identity is the cheerful, the bising kind of guy. But sometimes I do feel like macam
kepak juga
kepak lah. Tapi but sometimes I don't know whether am I resisting it or I'm being denial ka. I don't know. But
which context are you talking about now?
I don't know lah.
It's psychology.
It's just
still.
I felt that in one of the phases that I went through lah, in my late 20s especially. I felt it lah. Like I feel like my brain, my mindset is changing, but I have to stay
because of people like you that way, right?
Exactly.
And then because of your work like that, so you have to. It's not really you. Tapi I think those young, I don't know. I'm not an actor or but I because we look in terms of occupational health. And looking
mental,
from the facts, right? They are also human being. Of course, all the individuals, they will have that, your own self, inner self, and also when you meet people, sometimes it's not also how you. Some of the dominant individuals, the dominant personality, they can make people follow them. But some of not so dominant, they will follow the surroundings.
They will just be the follower.
And if the surrounding is gila-gila,
dia jadi gila.
Actually, they are not gila-gila, but because of they feel like they have to.
Like influence lah, macam peer pressure.
Yes. And then that kind of thing will definitely, after some time, they feel tired of it. And sometimes, not because of that, because of, if let's say,
it's just not who they are.
The actor or the actress, because of they have to, on the stage, takkanlah nak buat stress. Even though the real them, they're tired, they are too exhausted, they feel enough of it. But because of the situation, because of the job,
the work nature,
the work nature, they have to. So that kind of psychology issue that you have to be able to handle. Maybe if it is like for 2 hours, sikan lah sampai the whole day kan on stage.
You literally explain most of our concerns. Being as a public figure kan. Tasha has been in the industry for I think longer than me lah. I mean I'm not in the public eye always, but she has always been. You are right. So
and people expect you to be as what is being portrayed.
This one is actually a personal thing that I've experienced. Working in radio for quite a number of time. There was a point where my body and my my mind and my physical body did not line. Meaning to say that no matter how sick I was, or even if I had an operation ka, cabut dua gigi wisdom tooth ba, if you put me in the studio, I would still sound the same,
That is your dedication.
Yeah, but you will also get burned out from that because it's also very dangerous if your body and your minds align.
Betul.
You know, you get very conflicted, you get very stressed out because you've overworked that also. So sometimes kalau you dah kejar kuat gila, you keep on going, remind to give yourself a break because in that time, I hardly was even thinking about my health at all. I just
we feel like our health number 2, our job is number 1.
Correct. And like when I pray, I don't pray that, hey, you know, I hope I will get well like properly instead of like, oh, I want to be well by Tuesday. I have to be well by Tuesday.
All of us are having
back
that
of my head, I will have to be well by Tuesday, and that's my only goal. You know, so it did affect my mental health. You know, because I've always suppressed it. I've never talked about it. Everything was okay. If ada problem, I was like, demam. You know, you don't go to the root cause. You just like, more professional.
And then demam si baik-baik.
Betul.
It's like continuing because of, as she said just now, the root is not being cured.
Yeah.
So Dr. G, coming from that scenario, right, you as somebody who is quite proficient in managing, and you give lectures about management and stuff like that. These days, the working environment is like that. You know, you have to be, okay, you're sick. You have to be able to you have to be able to work on certain days. So, like, looking at the perspective of how organizations is conducted.
Yeah.
Do you how to handle this kind of problem lah?
How do you balance that?
Good.
What do you advise? Yeah.
I know. Things are changing, and it is like continuing to change from the last time was always history.
Let's give Dr. G
Dr. G,
some context. How many years was that? How many years ago was that when you were?
Where I was feeling that.
Yeah.
I think right before I left.
That was
19. But I've suppressed that
Before COVID.
Yeah.
Is it?
Like it was suppressed because I didn't even know there was a problem because I thought like, wow, you know, I can perform and look exactly that cheerful person even though like I'm like dead, like memang body dah balik ang rupa apa. But it was I didn't know that it was a problem. I thought that, wow, that was a skill. You know, and it's good to have that, but jangan macam agong-agongkan that because it will slowly drain you out. You know, because you don't know when to stop.
You mentioned that things are changing from then to now. Is there any
different profession, different challenges? One thing,
Betul.
And even though you are working at the same place, workplace, sometimes different individuals, different challenge as well, because of your supporting system is not the same. So like Tasha just now, maybe let's say she is not with her family, maybe not the right circle of friends, pun getting worse. We never know.
Mine was the problem was I never spoke about it.
Yeah.
You know, I never actually like when everybody asked me, I always downplay my feelings. I always downplay. I was just like, yeah, I'm great.
Yes.
How are you? I'm great. You know?
Right.
So most of the time, macam, you just want to like pretend it's not there, but it's there. Okay. So you got to address it. Like for me, it took a long time for me to heal from that.
Yes.
You know, it took a long time to love myself because I wasn't even taught, we were not taught how to love ourselves. You know, we always have to, the only thing I was like,
we look like bubbly to public, but actually about ourselves, the serious things, tired ke, apa ke, we don't really talk about it, right?
Correct. Most of the time kita, how are you? It's like, oh, okay, busy ka? Busy.
Kan?
You know, but in that
and
busyness,
the project comes from one to another, and you never have time, the real time to sit and think what any options that you should choose to make things getting better. You just go follow the flow. But yeah, it's okay if, for me, the very important thing nowadays for when we talk about psychology is about self-awareness.
Self-awareness.
Yes, because we know that everything is different.
Yeah.
Like, everybody is different. So if we couldn't give the right answer to everyone, it is the single right answer to everyone, to every circumstances and situation.
Betul.
We supposed to be aware. Ya, macam you pergi ke aerospace ke yang you very gelap, but you have to be wise enough. If you know that's too much, too wrong, nobody going to tell you. So even though how much your parents love you, your mom love you, she also couldn't give you the right answer because she's not going to be,
in your shoes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if we love the person that is like our mom or our parents, we take care of ourselves, not to make them feel bad with our decision. If it is like it was a wrong decision, but they know, everyone who knows us, they know it must be a reason, it is justifiable, and it is not as bad as something that you never think over it properly. Yang macam everyone, all of us actually memang mencabar lah nowadays.
Yeah.
When studying management, right? Did you learn something about psychology on how to handle about
Psychology
an
actually,
organization's psychology?
yes, of course. Psychology, it's interesting. If when we were young last time, I feel like if psychology, definitely we go to like become a doctor.
All
Totally
these
about this.
mental
Yeah, become
institutions.
psychiatrists like that, right?
Understand.
But of course, psychiatrists, they don't have enough time to take care of everyone, and
Yeah.
all of us are having psychology problem.
Dah lah, mental health very complicated.
Yes,
bah.
work-life balance is an issue for everyone. So of course, as a boss, if you have, let's say, not a boss, a manager, a supervisor, actually in management, that's why I like to teach management and psychology. It is supposed to be the subset of everything. Yeah, the subset, the knowledge, it's supposed to be embedded within the things that you do.
Betul.
It's like budi bicara lah. Budi bicara, it is part of psychology. So what do you feel if you meet someone or your boss don't have budi bicara? That's mean tak bagus lah. Right?
Betul.
So actually psychology for me, it is part of our life. So
I love that. I love everything psychology. I read podcasts. I just love everything about it. And I get to learn a lot about myself only after like in these last few years, after I quit radio, because I finally learned, okay, why am I like this? Because a lot of times when we feel macam si puas hatian situation atau orang, it always comes from us. What I feel is like, why am I projecting my feelings towards others,
Correct.
It could be because of relationships. Like, I've met people who have broken relationships back to back. So after that, they will start saying hurtful things about women or hurtful things about men. And then you try to categorize, semua perempuan sama, semua lelaki sama. But these are projections. And it's okay if you have them because you felt all that trauma, you felt all that hurt, But you mesti tahu juga kena kuasa macam dia. So it doesn't mean macam, if it happened, if you did something that I was traumatized about, I wouldn't macam, kena kau pun lagi just because I had a bad experience, but you had a great experience about it. And you mesti like, kena itu, si mak ku happy kah? So I do a lot of like reflections. I do a lot of
that is self-help. Yeah, part of like our effort, self-help. Nobody can.
It's
help
still not
us.
easy though. Yeah.
It's not easy, and it is accidentally you do the right one.
Yeah.
I like when Yusuf mentioned just now. He reflected. When he was like in late 20s, melalui all that fasa, all that. Actually, it's good because you
Acknowledge.
you know what's happening. Some people yangnya si sedar dunia, it's even worse, kan? Yang macam, of course, it's good for us. All of us are human being, and we have in management there's so-called bounded rationality.
What is that? What is
Okay,
Bounded
bounded rationality.
rationality.
Bounded rationality means everybody we are going to be rational lah. Waras,
Okay.
kan? We
About
are all
the
waras.
decisions that we make.
It's bounded
Yeah.
by the understanding that we have, our surrounding, our experience. Selagi you haven't experienced that, of course, you tend to be doing something wrong.
Okay.
So it's okay to do wrong as long as you realize and then you're not going to do it again.
Growth.
Yeah.
Yeah, you grow.
Yeah. Tapi if you don't bother or you don't aware of
Macam
it,
malas silalik lah, silalik kekurangan,
or
silalik semua
I ever ask people yang macam, you pernah see, because I can share this, three of us working as someone who always talk in front of people. Can we guarantee saying that we are not going to say wrong things? Can we guarantee? Cannot.
If we script, maybe.
Sometimes scripted pun salah kan. The script writer pun
Yeah.
salah.
That is so true.
So that one definitely we couldn't guarantee. So if we couldn't guarantee, that mean there is tendency everyone's going to make mistake, kan? Tapi kalau kita jumpa orang yang they said kita tanya pernah sih you feel regret you are doing something, tak ada. That mean the person is unrealistic. To be realistic, we know that tendency salah, and then we are going to remake it. If something that makes harmful situation ke apa, we make it correct, and we move on.
Tasha, do you have any regrets?
I don't have any regrets.
Bahaya.
But let me say, I don't have any.
Because I know this answer will come.
Yeah.
Dia sengaja ni.
Times already, she always says she don't have
let me
regrets.
explain because why I say that. Like I don't have any regrets in life about the things that I have done, because most of these are lessons to me.
Okay,
The
good.
only regret that I have in life are the things that I didn't do and I'm too late to do it again. Meaning to say macam spend more time with my late grandmother, and or maybe be more present for my dogs, masa dulu, you know.
Yeah,
So that's what I mean when I say that I don't have any regrets, because for
you
me,
don't wanna
I don't
get lost
dwell on
in
it.
kah,
Like, okay,
this?
I acknowledge I made a mistake. Yo, kena aku macam ya dulu. Or let's not do it again.
Yep.
Let's not do it again. Macam ya.
That's right. That's what I said. It can be the answer. It depends on circumstances. Kan? Kalau orang yang unrealistic, nya memang
Meaning they didn't learn
no
anything from
context.
their mistakes
Yes.
lah.
And it can be like the Tasha case when she said no regret. Because for me also, I would say no regret for many things that happen in my life. Because of course, as a human being, you have a lot of options in life. And
Betul.
of course, sometimes you feel like, kena lah I si ambil option yang A.
Betul.
Macam mana lah. Of course, kan lah si ada langsung. But how do we know the path in front there kan?
Betul.
Tapi I have no regret. Even though I know that kena lah I si ambil option B that or option C much more better, but you couldn't study it again because of you dah tua ke apa kan? Macam sometimes you cannot be always
Aduh, tua je.
No, I mean of course lah, like you cannot redo everything.
You don't have the time.
Yeah, you don't have
so many
time.
factors have to
Yes,
factor in lah.
right. So when you have that, still no regret because of that was the best option I do
Betul.
during the time.
This is why I like the principle of Islam in a sense, you know, like whatever that you have chosen, that is the best for you.
During the time.
During the time, yes. I like this what it teaches our mindset to and how we feel about our choices, you know. So yes, maybe we did make a bad choice, but that was already meant for you.
Yeah.
So I like the way Islam is teaching the way of thinking lah, you know. So yeah, it totally makes sense, you know. Like you can't actually think, what if I made that choice?
Yeah,
You really
don't
can't.
have that. Don't
Yeah.
have that mentality, because I usually like when sometimes I end up, you know, being in a group where everyone was just so negative, you know. So they say a lot of things. If only I. So, like most of them, when they do that, they only think about their past. They langsung sudah fikir future. Macam si puas hati dengan all the mistakes that I've done before. But what does that do? I mean, it's better like you. I know it's hard because I've also been stuck like that. You know, I've also been dwelling on it until I realized like I don't want to do this to myself anymore. I only can make things better, and I'm alive right now.
Yeah.
This is what I'm gonna do next.
Yeah.
You know, because if you live in the past too long, or in the future too long, you're not even moving. You know, you're not going anywhere. And the most important part for me is not past, not future. It's always present, because where it leads the future,
Yes.
there.
The present will lead to the
Yeah, the present will lead to the future.
Yeah. No, the thing is, I sometimes think macam in the past lah, macam cubalah I like studied engineering.
Sama.
I studied medical. I studied technology. I would have been like richer or something. But the thing, when I think about it, nah, man, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Like I can't think, or I can't envision myself that I will be doing that.
Betul.
Those kind of things.
Understand.
You know? So yeah, these are the things. But I want to go back to overstimulating. Dr. G, you have kids.
Dr. G.
You have kids. And content these days, as we have said many times, it can be good, it can be bad, it can be moderate. How do you moderate at home?
How do you monitor?
Especially now that you are, how old is your eldest?
The eldest 21.
21. And then the other two?
19 and 13.
So, okay, now not as a mother only, like people also view you as someone knowledgeable, someone very
we try to, all of us
educational, with
someone very educated, someone of high prestige.
Basically, a lot of people look up to you.
Yeah,
you know?
So there's certain expectations to be expected from your kind of person as an educator, as a
Professional lah, as a professional, yeah.
How you would teach your kids. Even though we don't want to think so much about it, but there are expectations from people.
Correct.
So how
Do you get criticized or like how do you deal with being a
I'm
mother?
quite lucky actually. I always feel like it not only happened to me, it happened to all of if we have like in a university we have about 4,000 lecturers, they may have the same thing, the same expectation,
the same expectations.
Yes, but
upon them.
I always feel like it is always depends on situation. Depends on the children's capability. It's very important. It's not about my capability or the professions that I have. It's about the children special situation that they have. Maybe you are good, but the surroundings at school, they have like, the worst case scenario, maybe teachers are not really supportive, or maybe friends are bullying, or blah blah blah.
Putting
all
him
that.
down or
You're
whatever.
anticipating a lot of different challenges that they have to face out there. So we have to be a bit, kind to ourselves and also to the people at our surroundings. So for me, myself personally, for my kids, I always go for a situational approach. Depends on the situation, but you always being observant lah, because you can.
Is there any such situation that in particular that
because you
felt
can see the difference. My two boys, the eldest and the middle one, they're both in boarding school. Of course, different, right? So the way you talk to them, because they are competing with their friends, is even is more fierce than myself.
I would also like to. Was I cutting you off?
No.
I would also like to ask, because you're a mother to 3 boys, yeah.
3 boys ka?
Three boys. How do you tell them about? 21 is the age that probably you want to go dating already, or how do you actually tell them? Like, I'm always curious about how do you actually tell them about not going to unsupposed to websites or being in the wrong group, because right now everything is everywhere. Netflix you see pun bukannya sopan-sopan, So how do you, like, as a mother and as a doctor also, how do you like nurture them, like tell them macam, okay, just to basically for them not to go.
Tell them not to go astray so much. Like be terjebak.
Yeah.
You actually tell them?
Yes, we have to tell. There, of course, like me myself, I don't know exactly what are the website that is not good, whatever.
Betul.
But you have to tell them to be truthful lah. What are the consequences? Everything that we do, we have consequences. So we just tell that, and we cannot be, as I said, we cannot guarantee things in life. So even though you tell or you don't tell, still you have to be, prepared with any possibility. But it's not about you yourself to be well prepared. It's supposed to be, we prepare them to be prepared with any consequences. So I always share with them. It's like kind of educating lah. Because children, for me, even ourselves, our friends, we are the generation, we don't like people to nag to us, blah 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 blah, saying that you don't do this, you don't do that. It is going to be bad again. But without saying that, then making them lost interest of listening to all this. You have to make it kind of storytelling. storytelling or you know what happened, kesiannya, so that.
Do you actually make up stories?
Not really, not make up stories, but the way we menyampaikan, it's supposed to be different way.
It's gentle parenting.
Yes,
gitu.
like we like a friend lah. You know what's gonna happen. All that lah. All these scammers, all that kan. We have to make it kind of, because we couldn't protect them anymore. So we just say like, whatever happened. I even have different groups in WhatsApp. Groups for the big family with my mom, with anak buah, blah blah blah, in different group with the two handsome teenage is different. So everything, my concerns, it's like my best friend lah.
Good.
You know what happens.
It's very important.
Because it depends. Sometimes my child adalah yang cakap, sorry Mi, I tak buka lagi, tak baca lagi. They are very generous.
Yeah.
Bagi
charge.
kan? So macam it's okay. So macam we say like, Along, you baca ke hari I actually thought that's macam something teruk kan? It's like that, right? Because you just want to, I don't know whether my way is correct one or there are a lot of good way out there. Tapi that is part of our efforts lah. We want to make them, at least it's actually monitoring, even though the words is monitoring, but it's like you're following up. You say like, Along, you dengar, I send to you that day. You say, I'm sorry Mi, I belum buka lagi. Sometimes like that kan, but they know if you do it like after some time you cerita lain lagi, and then they feel bad also if you semua tak buka, then feel like bad also kan.
That's a passive aggressive.
So kind of like, because it's about exchanging information, but the art of exchanging the information is it's something.
So you don't have any major problems in managing social media, how they consume?
It depends on, because I always showed, because of course different generation, different way, generation gap.
I think your children kira dalam lingkungan Gen Z lah kan?
Yang the youngest one, of course memang totally 13. Memang YouTube, TikTok, all that, right? Yang the two memang tengah-tengah lah, ada IG, all that kan.
Already have the social profile, social media.
Tapi pun share dengan kawan-kawannya lah, and like me, I have Facebook and IG. TikTok apa semua I set dah, because of lah at this age kan.
You watch TikTok or not? You do watch it lah. Orang share I nanggal lah dekat WhatsApp, tapi I pun si ada
app aja lah.
Okay.
And this, you can see these three si collide lah. You nanggal seorang IG, seorang TikTok, seorang
lain-lain platform.
Lain kan. You cannot provide them all the inputs. And I also, like me myself, even though if people look at me, it seems like I'm very active Facebook, like apa semua nak. But actually, it's not about my personal life. It's normally what I share is like, so I involved with a lot of I'm quite lucky lah. 3 different domain actually. One is of course study lah with my students. So university life pun ada different category. Undergrad, different audience.
Wait, you still studying again?
No lah, students lah. Okay. Undergrads, different audience.
Because undergrads are more older kan?
The same age like my kids lah.
Kan
yang belum yang undergrads yang belum first degree. And then I have quite a number of masters and PhD students. Master and PhD students tu tengah-tengah mula research. They are research students. They go for their master by research and PhD. But normally they don't really expose to organization work. So different. The networking is different. There's so much, like depending, macam I download lah. I lepas habis belajar, I kerja sekejap as a tutor pun banyak gila. You don't really kenal many people. And then you further study, then totally based on the research. Based on the desk research. So different lah. But the third gang tu is DBA. DBA is Doctor of Business Admin. Normally, they are all the CEO, bank managers, oil and gas managers, all that. Because sometimes they are all engineers, doctors by profession, lawyers. Tapi because of when after some time, you still need to. You don't learn, in architecture, in engineering, you don't learn about managing organization. So that is where they start to take this DBA to be the doctor in front of the name. They have the doctor in front of the name, and at the same time, they know how to handle organizational issue. With this stuff, it's not easy, right? So they learn about that, and the way the expectation, the maturity, the way they talk to you, the perspective, looking at a lot of different issues, especially managerial and employee perspective is different.
Yeah, of course.
So the way you talk to them also different. So handling these three different domain pun dah
a lot.
satu benda. And then I have friends
Young, mid,
yes,
old.
Okay. That's why I said I quite diverse in terms of that. And then come to friends yang media friends. TVS, Al-Hijrah, because I do Al-Hijrah.
You do Al-Hijrah as well.
Last time waktu I muda sikit, I pola voice over.
What's Al-Hijrah?
TV
a news
station.
channel.
Okay.
TV Al-Hijrah.
Yeah. So
It's
iklan,
it's like
all that.
it's like legit channel lah.
In Astro.
Like Astro Ria.
Okay.
TV, so it's TV Al-Hijrah.
Okay. Sorry, Natasha. Okay, so that one is like different gang. Okay, and you know about production, you know about the message that you want to give to the society. Or
Quite experienced also lah you in broadcast.
Boleh lah, belajar sikit-sikit lah.
Jadi Oprah dah.
And then different. Okay, and because last time I also have my own column, resident column in Suara Sarawak. So you know that at this age, that is the blessings. When you are at this age and you have that kind of exposure with lot of networkings, it's always, your purpose is always different. The way you look at things is not so much about feeding the inputs to people. It's about what is the benefits that you want to to give to make
how people
continuous.
benefit from what you do like that.
Faham.
That one baru 2 category. The third one is NGO. NGO kan kadang-kadang we involve with like persatuan, all that. That one is like the society lah, orang yang orang tua. Because I'm consider tua juga kan.
Ish dari tidak bah kamu tua bah.
Tidak bah kamu tua bah.
Kamu tidak bah tua, Dr. J.
So when you are looking from the perspective of masyarakat, different thing. Because they like to have event, they like to have activities that bring people together. So the purpose is different. It's not about the content that you want to give, blah blah blah. So how when I say like this, how I try to channel out
and different facets of yourself
Correct.
into all these things.
So when people always say, I like the topic about psychology. Have you ever heard people say like PhD is permanent head damage?
Yeah, when I was in high school. Yeah, that's what I say.
That's my first time.
No, that's what they say it stands for. It's more like macam
jangan buat PhD. Macam you can my mom also last time she was quite worried. Dia macam belajar lagi. Macam orang have kind of like kerisauan saying that belajar jauh gila because of takut
You did your PhD in Australia?
Yes. Okay, and it was the scholarship from Australian government. So you have to deliver lah. Betul-betul kan. So I'm pun takut. Okay, I feel like macam boleh ke mbak tu. And then
what does it stand for again?
No, it doesn't stand for that. But the saying is that
what was it again?
permanent head damage.
Yeah. So you know that if people can associate that with the term, kan, what does it mean in terms of psychology? You are very, inclined to have that because of
you're getting stressed out. Because you're like you're gonna betul ke you want to PhD, you're not gonna have time. Yeah, your brain's gonna be filled with just information and nothing else. Kan?
So that's why I said. It's very important. I always tell my students normally lah bila you dalam keadaan you feel like stressed out, you have a lot of things, banyak seat settle, pagi-pagi keep on doing all the amendment never stop, blah blah.
On your research.
So my students feel that they feel like kena lah, why should I do this, doctor, blah blah blah. They feel like that. So I said like, it's always kind of a test for you. If you settle this PhD, that's when you can manage psychologically everything that happens. A lot of things in your life. InsyaAllah lah. Sebab, it is kind of the hardest part in life because you're going to, in PhD, you have to do everything on your own. You have your supervisor, but supervisor normally is like kind of the coach lah, yang you saying like salah tu, but they're not going to swim with you.
They're not gonna like tell you exactly the answer.
Yes, right? Because they're also not doing that for them. The study is about something that you're doing for yourself.
Goodness, that's a lot of things. I didn't know PhD. I mean, I know studying is a pain in the ass. I didn't like studying.
Boleh lah. I think it depends. Sometimes last time we always comment.
The way I study, Dr. G, I memorize.
It's okay. But you learn a lot from experience. The old you that you said malas study all that was the old you.
Yeah.
After all this experience, you become the wiser person. Maybe you getting better and even better than those yang rasa the best student in Tadika last time. Some of us kan, we feel like ada yang best student Tadika, best student Darjah 6, best student sekolah menengah. But bila kerja, very struggle for them. Blah blah blah. Right. And some people waktu kerja sangat brilliant, sangat genius.
So teori dengan praktikalnya lain. Teori dan praktikal.
And the all us yang genius, yang best student, pelajar contoh, all that, it doesn't work anymore. It's just a history.
I went back to studying at Sentex like last 2 years. And then it was quite like when I was finally in the class, lecturer all, I felt like, wow, the students now are so lucky. Back in the day, I had to like muka surat 47. You have to go to libraries to find information, to find the right answer. And right now, I just type Google, and you get your answers there. So for me, aside from all those fluff about all this entertainment and all that, when it comes to studying, internet is gem. Google is like gem.
Tapi bahaya juga. That's what I said.
Because information ada yang salah.
Ada yang salah kan.
Betul. Tapi I'm talking about all the macam the belajar wise.
Yes. That's why maturity is very important nowadays. Even AI. People say AI is very good, but like being designer, apa ni yang the apps tu,
graphic designer, software designer,
the graphic that can give you just give the prompt and then they will give you
ChatGPT, right?
No, that one is yang the
talking about
visual one. The visual one.
Visual one is Sora.
I couldn't
like you see how a lot you see how a lot on Instagram where there's all these AI video, the girls,
very beautiful,
they look very exotic.
Yes.
Actually,
it is yang fake one. It's not the real one.
Already?
Yes.
Like if you just hashtag AI photo, there's so much. There's even like a whole visual. Like I saw one nenek ke tudung main skateboard, stuff like that.
It's not the real one. They can just simply do, the computer do for you. Nowadays, you don't have to like illustration purpose or whatsoever, you just ask the AI
prompt
to do. Just give the prompt and then the AI do. But if you're not matured enough, have you ever seen yang cacat-cacat one dekat tangan ada 5 lah, all one right? If you're not matured, when you get the answer or whatever input given by the AI, you just accept it and then you give to your boss. Pun
malas, you just sit double check.
Same like ChatGPT. you think that the AI is very genius, give you all the answer, but actually it is wrong. So that's why you have to be matured. You have to, filter. Apa tu?
Betul.
Those yang betul-betul bijak. That's why I said I always tell my students, AI actually for those who are good in that area, not those who don't know anything about that area. Like let's say like me, I'm not an engineer. I don't know anything about, like, say, I'm not an architect.
So
I don't know anything about
you can't
building.
actually use AI to actually make you sound like very smart engineer.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't know what AI is telling you.
I tell something that is totally look funny or whatever, then you confidently say that. So that's why when people ask me to, doctor, just what so speech ke apa ke using AI. AI can do like trigger me to come up with something, but I would say I only use about 10 to 15% of it.
So you do use AI?
Yeah, I do. But of course lah, it is technology. Tapi you have to know what you want.
Yeah.
In order for you to know what you want, you have to be knowledgeable first.
Betul.
So that the danger nowadays, because of some of the students or the children, AI budak darjah 5 pun boleh guna. Right, but depends. That's why I said maturity just now. First, self-awareness to make us not lost in this
sea of knowledge.
Yes. The second one is about maturity. If you're not matured, you are going to just simply take it without knowing it is rubbish or it
Garbage.
Garbage. Garbage.
Okay, I think I want to present some news because it's been a while since we've done this podcast, and I have two news, simple ones that I want you guys to react to.
Okay.
Number one is US wants to collab more with Sarawak in terms of clean energy. I think
that's brilliant.
This year alone, I think the US ambassador to Sarawak has come over to Sarawak for quite a number of times. I don't think we've reached an agreement yet, but this is the interest lah. But I am a bit skeptical about when US is concerned.
Why? What do you?
I don't know, man. US always intervene. This is coming from my political view lah. US always intervene in a lot of things. They want to always tap into something new, something like. I'm not saying US are all evil lah. No, I'm just basing it on my view of what is happening in the world right now. So I am a bit skeptical lah, because now Sarawak is championing green energy. It's proven kan, like we can produce hydrogen-based energy. We have green hydrogen and we have blue hydrogen some more. I don't know what's the difference lah. But I know that it exists, and we also creating energy from algae. So these are technology that they want to tap into. When they want to tap into, I'm like this. I fold my hand like this. What you want from me? Like that lah. So what do you think? You think it's good lah?
I don't think I'm educated enough in this hydrogen thing to even comment on, to be honest.
But what do you think this sudden interest?
Nothing. I don't know much about it.
No, US's sudden interest in Sarawak. Like US is over there, like it's so far away. And so you willing to fly now to Sarawak now that we have this? Like, why didn't you have interest in us in the first place last time?
Business, bro. Ya, ajak aku dapat pada.
Dr. G?
I think, I love to hear that from you both, because especially Yusuf just now when he said that, that is our future generation. When you love your country, when you love what you have, you are going to be skeptical. It's good. Yeah, of course. If you just simply, come, that's dangerous lah.
Betul.
We don't need that people yang tak sedar dunia lah kan.
Betul.
That is good. Very good actually. It's nothing wrong about having that kind of, it's not sentiment. It is, when you love something, you protect it.
Betul.
You are not going to just leave it mana-mana je lah. We are not going to be like that. So, it's good, and it is supposed to be not if especially our politician, those people who are at the decision maker, especially
of course
not
they
only,
welcome this collaboration. Of course, they're open.
This
to
is
it.
where we need knowledge, and at the same time, all the legality issue, everything need to be handled and tackled by those who are expert in it. We cannot just simply say, okay, dia macam orang investment. Investment, of course, your money is yours.
Betul.
But the knowledge is not yours. So if you reluctant to get help from at least not help lah, you get the understanding and knowledge from others, that is where scammer come to the place. Because you have your money and then you arrogantly saying that money aku pun bah. You say like that, right?
Meaning they can buy the technology.
Yeah. This is where, when we are not really good in knowing green versus blue energy, blah blah, all that, we don't have to study everything in our life.
Yeah.
Of course, let people being expert in their own area, but we have to work together.
Yeah.
So the openness here, this is where we know that Sarawak nowadays we are at the the upper hands for everything. So we have to be careful. We have to make sure everything
goes in line. Goes in line with our interests.
Together.
I do feel there's a little concern there. Like now that I don't know. I think it's good that we are being known globally for championing this effort, but I think we
have to be more
all
careful.
the attention to us.
Yes.
I know, but for me, I only can say that if it benefits us, I believe our decision makers also, they know what they're doing. They also know what they're going to get in return, what they're giving out there. So unless I actually really know about the whole context that I can make a decision.
Tasha, because as we said, dia macam our life lah. Our life, we never guarantee. We couldn't guarantee things.
Betul.
So young brother, those who are out there, they have to be very careful, and at the same time they have to be responsible to the decision
that they are about to
because as Tasha said just now, it's about business. If you look from business perspective, maybe you got the point, it is justifiable, but looking from, that's why we cannot work on someone alone here. You are the one decision maker, but the decision supposed to be consists of strategies, consists of legalists, consists of, because you cannot be mastered in legal at the same time you mastered in green technology. You mastered.
True.
Can you be
ampun
that?
semua.
Cannot. Our brain have limitation, right? Remember? Kelak head damage kelak.
I cannot speak like Tasha. Tasha speaks very good bahasa Melayu translated directly in China.
Huh? So random.
I'm just like putting it out there. I get funny languages from Tasha, funny languages.
I should be having a session with you too, so that I can get all the terms. Today I have few terms already. I learned
which
G.
Like I love the from her is no need only.
No need only.
No need only is bahasa Cina apa? Or you translate from BM that one?
No, it's just no need only. There's no translation. I usually say that if it's like, unnecessary situation or unnecessary comments, I'm like, no need only. It's just like sometimes when I'm busy, he's like, you see, go jawat ka, my hair like this, my hair that. No need only. It's more like just don't stress on it. No need.
Coming back to the news lah, I just think maybe this. It's my personal view. I think it's okay. Yeah, like you said, it's okay to be skeptical. It's just that, like I feel like right now all eyes on us.
Yeah.
Not all eyes lah, but this concerns when it concerns technology, when it concerns to intellectual property or all these things. It's especially with how the world is today. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Stress. Okay.
Tapi kadang-kadang masih boleh stress juga. You gotta let it happen.
I mean,
also.
I naturally like to do that to myself.
I do have that too, but it's just like now it's more like it's the back of my head. I can ignore it,
Okay, so
do you have a second news?
Yeah, I do. And this concern, we haven't spoken about this on the podcast for quite some time. The conflict in Palestine and Israel, it's getting worse. They've bombed all those places that they think they wouldn't bomb, but they have bombed. Rafah in particular is the why? Okay, so Rafah in particular has been attacked.
Yep.
And aside from all these bombings that we hear on a daily basis on the news, I've also recently discovered that they not only attack, but they also rape people. They do all these heinous crimes that are very ugh. So aside from bombing, they rape, they just assault you in like nobody's business. They torture, they do
Even
all
for
these
children,
evil
so
things,
that,
yeah.
right,
And
yeah.
they do this not to just girls, but they do it to like boys,
Yeah.
and not to women only, but to male adults as well. So
Just like mentally
yeah,
torture people.
that's actually what is more concerning. I mean, the attack, of course, is very concerning, but
Yeah.
the mental side of the conflict is much worse than what the physical bombing is all about. So, Dr. Aila, did you know about this already?
Of course, I think this happens for a long time ago, but because of nowadays, it's good because of technology make things even clearer to everyone, right?
Even more visible.
But yeah, talking about the impact, I think me personally, we are talking about the psychology, right? The things that we should worry of is not about the torture for those who are directly involved there. It is about the people. I mean, the society, the world society nowadays, when they don't bother and they even enjoy things, even though they look at something wrong, even not part of the smallest part in your heart. Don't even say it is wrong, and you are okay with that. That's mean wrong because you don't allow people to be injustice to yourself. But when you see this happen, you are okay with that. Doesn't matter how it is being like rationalized or normalized or justified. It is totally wrong because when you see in random people do this to one person, you feel it is totally bad. What more to say when it is happen every day,
Yeah, I really thought that all these, I thought they will just attack. Bombing is whatever lah. It's not whatever. It's what we see on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But the fact that they actually do torture, they do rape these victims, and these people have no place to go. So it's just like, wow. I thought because wars back then maybe it didn't involve such thing, but
It's
now,
insane that it's ongoing for so long.
So,
Right.
and I want to ask from your perspective. So, do you actually boycott things?
Of course. That is the smallest thing that we could do.
Yes,
And
that's what I always tell my
I
friends
do
and families as
educating as well. It is kind of insulting my intelligence or your intelligence if you say that you belong to professionals and you are intellect, but the smallest thing, the simple thing like this, you couldn't brain it. That's when it is insulting at any levels.
Yeah,
It is
like some people couldn't
bother.
Sorry, I'm not a whatever, but some people just can't seem to live without Coca-Cola. Macam, let lo. I feel like that's the most simple things. If you are on the cause, which why wouldn't you? I question now that I'm getting more and more
aware.
Oh, not just aware, but more. I like why do people not boycott?
You feel
I feel like I
you
feel
feel
like
sick of it,
I
right?
feel even more strongly about this.
Yeah.
Before, even I already boycott, but now I feel even more strong about it because like why? There's no reason why you don't boycott.
Yeah, and in a way also it save our money, economically. Talk
you
about
mean?
it save our money because I just realized because I'm a parent, right? McD, all that kan, yang sebelum ni menghabiskan, I mean,
Treats
a lot
for-
of portion in our income too. It comes from all this kind of yang actually it's not really necessarily. It's kind of like I would say sometimes, and at the same time, it is helping, contributing to the war. So I feel like after boycotting, I feel okay. One thing is I don't feel bad of doing that. Sebab, it's part of, I show the humanity within me. Macam I can't membantu that much. I'm not rich people as well, but I boycotting because of I know the reason why I feel pity to yang terjejas.
So basically, it's more like I do that because this is the least that I can do, and it's not, and it's not even hard to do.
And then sharing via the media platform, all that kan. Even though it's not every day lah, tapi from time to time I will just put it as part of our social responsibility.
Some people say, I disagree with people who macam simply share only. As if you care about it. No, bro, you sharing is actually,
it's educating.
It's doing something.
It's helping. Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. It depends on, sometimes some people they take it, just ignore it like that. So some people they feel like, it depends during what time you are looking at it. At night, sometimes you are alone, your parents is not at home, maybe the children, okay? Then they look at it, then they start to think about something. So you never know. It is not, it's beyond your control. It's not even your own calls for all that. So I think that sharing is, for me, is part of my responsibility, social responsibility, to help the next generation to be a human, that having
to
their
be
heart,
a human.
to having heart, to know what is wrong, what is right, and what you supposed to, having your heart too. We don't want some like kind of beast there, look handsome, look like K-pop, but your heart is like you don't feel anything. It's like very numb with people hardship, people all this kind of torture.
I understand what you mean just now, Yusuf, because like for me also, I geram also, like there was I forgot which one, because this one just briefly passed through, right? And I think like she shared a post about Palestine's current situation, and then someone said now then you want to post. I'm like,
why you and they actually told you off about it?
Not me. I mean the other influencer. There was this, I forgot this.
Oh, because of the blockout, is it?
Something like that. And for me, like that one, I don't like to see, because like, are you actually trying to help or not? You see, you already influence others. Maybe sekarang jadi sedar kan. So dia post lah, like why you have to question them again. That one I don't like, because you're not helping. You're just busybody only, just trying to be fake and like, that one I don't like.
Betul. That's why we can see what I get from today. Okay, dia dah macam, lecturer is always lecturer kan. They have their own isi penting, all that kan, in their mind kan. Just now we talking about the first one, tadi apa, self-awareness, with maturity,
psychology,
okay, then now
overstimulation.
Okay, so when we talk about this, it's about the interest that they have, the perspective. Okay, the perspective, when we look from business perspective, we can always justify anything. As long as it is profitable, as long as it is like income generating, it is like whatever value it is that going to be good or bad, you justify it with ringgit and cent, then you say it is okay for you to do that. And sometimes people say personal interest, it is surviving, blah blah blah. People can always come with justification, but again with maturity that we have just now and perspective, whether we are putting or applying the right perspective to the issue or to the situation.
Whether we are being empathy.
Because kadang-kadang kita tu banyak penunggang, but that is great hate. Like I cannot like that.
So that's why we sometimes people also can play with the perspective. They will say like
propaganda lah tu.
Blah blah whatever. But you have to see if it is wrong, it's wrong. If it is right, it's right.
This is the one of the most unbearable or uncomprehendable things I see on the internet. It's like, what else you want to do? What else needs to be justified to say that this is not right?
Yeah.
The whole thing. Why you need proof? What proof you need only? 30,000 people plus already die already, and you still need proof? You still need proof to say that Israel is not guilty? You still need proof to say that it's... I cannot.
Yeah.
That's why the bias with between the Israel-Palestine conflict and the Ukraine-Russia conflict is
different.
way off. Like...
Si masuk akal.
Dah lah. I think that one is just about because they want to control border ka, whatever ka. It's of the same, but it's of the same nature of conflict. But then, for all you know, what? Okay, personally, this is my viewpoint. I don't think Russia is evil of some sort. They're just trying to protect because I think Ukraine started something, which is because of US. This is where the perspective comes from.
Yeah, it's good.
US, it's always somewhere and somehow is involved.
I think Yusuf, next time it will be interesting. You call one political science lecturer kan?
To go in depth.
Then if you do that, please send me the link. I want to
watch.
It's interesting.
The bare difference of how things are being perceived is so biased. The blockout was effective. I think we haven't spoken about blockout. What do you think of a blockout, Tasha? Celebrities who don't speak about Palestine.
This was when though? This was
recent. Oh yeah, a lot of artists got
in
blocked.
Malaysia lah,
Malaysian artists also got blocked.
Yep.
So it happened globally. You know about the blockout or not? So the blockout is basically whatever celebrity that hasn't spoken about.
Oh, I know, the one that you just basically it's still in your account, but you block their.
Yeah. So what's the cause of the hashtag blockout? Was to block all the celebrities that didn't even say a single word or even shared anything about Palestine or Gaza. So this involved artists. I'm sorry to say this, but I've blocked Taylor Swift.
You did?
I did. I've blocked Beyonce. I've blocked anyone. I can't. These two are on top of my head because I know them as the prime entertainers of the world.
Are those two your favorite as well?
I don't listen to Beyonce in particular, but I listen to okay. So I do. Okay, it's a bit hypocritical, but I still do listen to their music. But I don't know, man. So this is something that I also struggle with. Still.
Understand.
So that's the movement. So when this movement came by, some Malaysian artists also got affected by it. So I don't want to say names. Because itu periuk nasi korang semua. Tapi some of them started lah, which is good.
Yeah.
Which is good. It triggers a reaction. It triggers something. And if these artists got blocked by a lot of people, by millions of people, and they started to speak about Palestine, that is good.
Yeah.
That means the cause works.
Yeah.
So that's how I see things lah. I think.
Yeah.
What else do we want to talk about? I think we're done. We're good. Thank you so much, Dr. Aila, for being on this,
for having me.
We've spoken a lot of things.
We didn't get to speak about beauty.
It's okay. I think psychology, we understand
the beauty in life. The beauty
in life itself.
We want to actually explore that topic, but we'll invite somebody else to explore on this.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Do you have anything to say to your students or whatnot who might be listening, who you might share this podcast to?
Yes, you can call me Dr. G from now.
The new thing. The special thing.
Masuk sekolah Dr. G terkejutnya kelak. Confirm ada dengar podcast.
I think this is something new also. I enjoy to be with you both this evening.
Thank you.
Because of, I think we learn about, when that is the difference. When you talk with your students, definitely they are quite reserved, giving you all the inputs, opinion, all that. But when I listen to you both, like just now talking about the block-out or whatever, it is different. You look from the perspective of the periuk nasi or the singers, particularly. Like for me, singers, actress, influencer, they come and go because I look at the the cycle and the faces. It is like it is nothing about it. It's about the educating people to be wiser from generation to another. It is something that we should continually do instead of just taking like being indecisive, or because once we do that, we stop like being taking charge of the cycle of knowledge transfer, that we are leaving the world to be destroyed and being like zombie everywhere. So it is even worse. Yeah. That is how I look at things. So thank you very much for having me. I hope that the chit chat today is going to give good things. If it is bad, maybe it's because of I have lacking of understanding. But if it is good, definitely it's for you to start with it and explore more, contribute better things to people at your surrounding. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Aila.
Thank you, Dr. G.
Thank you, Dr. G.
Well, that wraps up this episode of the Just Saying podcast. Make sure if you want to see the video version of it, I hope, because our camera very...
Keep on
off. But yeah, if
See
you
you in the
wanna
next
watch it
one.
on YouTube. What's the it's
Just
very
Saying
hard-
Podcast.
The Just Saying podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.